Awesome. Awesome. Good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Had there ever been a time in your life where you felt so confident about yourself or something, but because of what someone said or something that happened to you, all of that confidence went away? Put that in the chat box right now if that's been you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So I want to tell you two things. One, as you can see, you're not alone. And then two, you're in the right place. You see, as humans, sometimes we allow the things that we go through or the things that people say to destroy our whole moods, our goals, and our dreams. Today, I want to share with you on how to win the battle within. Because the biggest enemy that you'll ever face in life is your enemy, your mind. So allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sylvester Jenkins III. I'm from Columbus, Georgia. I grew up in a low income, single parent home in a gang and drug infested neighborhood where a young black man was only expected to do three things, and that's go to jail, die, or make it out on pure luck. But instead of becoming a product of my environment, I chose to bet on myself and join the military instead. Beating the odds with no luck, all hard work and determination, I can now call myself a combat veteran, a best selling author, a first generation college graduate, and a professional speaker. By using this powerful, powerful three-step formula, I'm here to share with you today. Would you believe me if I told you that you are unbreakable? Would you believe me if I told you that you are unstoppable? Would you believe me if I told you that you can overcome anything? So here's what I need you to do. I need you to take out a sheet of paper and something to write with, because the information that I'm about to share with you today is so important and I don't want you to forget it. This is some information that can only not help you, but those around you as well. So on this sheet of paper, what I need for you to do is write in all caps the words I will. I will in all caps. Then right up under that, what I need you to do is write a capital M. Then right up under that M, I need you to write a capital A. Then right up under that A, I need you to write a capital X. And then right up under that X, I need you to write the words out, O-U-T, out. Now, everybody sees what that spells, right? It says, I will max out. I will max out. You see, max is short for the word maximum, which means reaching your fullest and highest potential. This is an infrastructure to systemize your success. So when we look at this first letter, M, it stands for, write this down, mindset, mindset. You see, I used to wonder if mindset really mattered, but believe it or not, the things that we feed our brains are just as important as what we feed our bodies. The conversations, the images, the words, the ideas, they all shape our lives. You see, as a teenager, I was an aspiring drug dealer, a gang member, and an occasional thief. I failed the fourth grade. I failed the sixth grade. I failed the eighth grade. I failed the 10th grade. I failed 10th grade summer school, and I failed the 12th grade. People thought I was so dumb that if I chose to speak my mind, I'd be speechless. I can recall my senior year in English class taking a test. And as my teacher was calling everybody out into the hallway individually to give them their grades, she called out my name. And when she called out my name, my palms started sweating, my heart started racing. You see, this test was the deciding factor on if I would graduate on time or not. And as we're standing out in the hallway and I'm anticipating what she's about to tell me, she told me, Sylvester, you didn't pass the test. I hate to break it to you. I don't think you had what it takes, and I don't feel that you're college material. My heart just dropped right there on the spot. I was devastated. I was crushed. I was hurt. Later on that day, I had to deliver the bad news to my mom. And the whole bus ride home, all I can think about was how I let her down. You see, my mom never graduated high school. She dropped out when she was 16 because she was pregnant with my older brother. And as I walked through the door and I approached my mom, I told her, I said, Mom, and a lump came in my throat. And I put my head down and the tears started running down my face. I said, Mom, I'm not going to graduate high school. And she picked my head up, she wiped the tears off my face, and she told me, baby, you don't have a lick of book sense, but you got plenty of common sense. Now go get my belt. Now, I don't know about your mom, but my mom was real strict especially when it came down to education, all because of what she experienced in her childhood. So later on that year, I graduated in summer school. But me, thinking that I was too dumb for college, I chose to join the military instead. You see, I could speak about my accomplishments all day, but I was molded by the hardships, the struggles, the sacrifices, the failures. How many of you ever heard of the name Tom Brady? Put it in the chat box right now if you ever heard of the name Tom Brady. I'm sure pretty much everybody heard of him, right? Tom Brady is considered the GOAT, the greatest of all time to ever play the game of football, right? I bet you if I asked you to tell me one of his accomplishments, you could probably spit them out all day, right? 7-time Super Bowl champ, 5-time Super Bowl MVP, 3-time NFL MVP. The list goes on and on. Everybody know who Tom Brady is, whether you're a football fan or not. But did you know that Tom Brady was selected in the 6th round as the 199th pick, which means he was passed over by all 32 teams 5 previous times? Did you know that Tom Brady ran the second slowest time in the 40-yard dash ever for a quarterback? Did you know 6 other quarterbacks were selected before him that are no longer in the league? What about this one? Let me tell you this one. The Patriots were about to cut him, but decided to keep him as the 4th-string quarterback. Not the 3rd, not the 2nd, but the 4th-string quarterback. Best decision they ever made, right? But no matter what people said, no matter what people thought, Tom Brady never lost his mindset of becoming the greatest quarterback to play the game of football. You see, there are 2 different types of mindsets. You have a growth mindset and you have a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset pretty much has a limited belief. They feel like if I wasn't born with this ability or if I didn't have this talent, that I can't achieve certain things I put my mind to. But then you have a growth mindset. This is an empowering belief. These are people who feel as long as I put in the effort and I give maximum effort and I put in the work, I can achieve anything that I put my mind to. See, this is what I like to call eyesight versus mindsight. Let me say this for you again, and you need to write this down. Eyesight versus mindsight. You see, your eyesight is seeing the things that are right in front of you, like me failing over and over and over and over again in school, or Tom Brady being selected in the 6th round as the 199th pick. That's dead last. Would you even think that you had a chance in the NFL if you was picked dead last? I don't think so. But but then you have your mindsight. It's perceiving the things that you see. It's perceiving the things that you see. Nobody else. Like me, graduating college, or becoming a best-selling author, or Tom Brady becoming the greatest of all time to play the game of football. You see, your mindsight is a powerful lens that controls your actions and emotions. I promise you, if you change your mindset, you can change anything in your life. So I want to share with you 3 ways that I was able to develop a growth mindset. So 1, I made a commitment to myself. I said I would do whatever it takes to be 1% better than I was yesterday, whether that was going for a walk, whether that was reading books, whether it was listening to a positive message. I did whatever it took in order to be 1% better than I was yesterday. That's only 15 minutes of your life. 15 minutes. You have 24 hours in a day. 15 minutes of your life will not kill you. Then 2, the circle, the people that you hang around. Are they propelling you to go to that next level? Are they motivating you? Do they have goals, ambitions, and dreams like you do? I was running around with a gang. I was breaking into people's homes. I was selling drugs. This is the wrong circle to be around. And I knew that. But the peer pressure kept on coming to me. And I had no choice, I felt at that time, but to do what I was pressured to do. But at the same time, once I started hanging around winners, a wise man once said that if you hang around 9 broke people, you'll be the 10. You can't soar with eagles running with chickens. So look at your circle the next time you want to develop a growth mindset. And then 3, tools and resources. Tools and resources. There are so many tools and resources that are available in order for you to develop a growth mindset. You have YouTube, you have podcasts, you have webinar, seminar. This conference right here is a resource in order to help you develop a growth mindset. Don't take it for granted. Take everything that people are providing you and use it. Apply it. Applied knowledge is power. So those are 3 ways that I was able to develop a growth mindset. Now we're going to go into the letter A, which stands for, write this down, attitude. Attitude. You see, your attitude is everything. Your attitude can make you, or your attitude can break you. You see, I believe there are 3 different types of people in this world. And follow along with me when I say this. There are 3 different types of people in this world. You have the potato, the egg, and the coffee bean. Let me say that for you one more time. The potato, the egg, and the coffee bean, right? Just follow along with me. I know some of y'all like wondering what I'm talking about. Just follow along with me. So you see, everybody faces adversity. Everybody falls down. Falling down is inevitable, but you have 2 choices, whether to stay down or get back up. I think you'll choose to stand back up. So for this analogy, we're going to call adversity hot boiling water. So when we initially look at that potato, right, we notice that it's hard, which can be considered as strong. But when we stick it in that hot boiling water, for example, failed a big test at school or lost their job, what happens to that potato on the inside? It grows soft, it grows mushy, which can be considered as weak. And then you have that egg. Now the egg is already fragile before it even faces adversity. You stick that in hot boiling water, let's say a huge breakup, a divorce, or loss of a loved one, what happens to that egg on the inside? It hardens. The same outer shell, but on the inside, it's bitter. And then you have that coffee bean. If you get a handful of coffee beans and you stick that in hot boiling water, it's going to change that hot boiling water into coffee. The same circumstance that brought it pain, it changed it for its better. It found purpose in its pain. It found power in its pain. So you should always strive to be a coffee bean. This is where resilience comes into play. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity. You see, everyone has the heart of a lion. Have you ever wondered why the lion is the king of the jungle? It's not the biggest. Last time I checked, the elephant is. It's not the tallest. Last time I checked, the giraffe is. It's not the fastest. Last time I checked, the cheetah is. But anytime the lion comes around these animals, they all scatter, they run away. And it's all because of one word, his attitude. You see, when a lion sees these animals, the first thing he thinks of is lunch. I can eat these animals. And he acts the way he thinks, which goes back to our confidence. You see, I'm a recent retired Army first sergeant. I joined the military due to job security and many other family members that serve. For about the first 8 years of my military career, I considered myself to be a follower that transitioned into a manager. Notice how I said a manager and not a leader. I did not have the confidence or the belief that I could be a leader. It wasn't until my 3rd deployment to Iraq that I realized the obligation that had been bestowed upon me. And as we get that last hour to spend with our families, one of my soldiers introduced me to his family, his wife, his kids, his mother, and his father. And as we're standing there talking, and I'm listening to all these great things that the soldier is saying about me, I'm just standing there in amazement of the impact and the influence that I had on this individual. And his mother pulls me to the side and she tells me, please take care of my son and to bring him back home safe. You see, for someone outside of my family, to have that much trust in me, and to have so much confidence in me. It lit a fire in me that continues to burn to this day. It gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me a sense of self-worth. There's a famous quote by Zig Ziglar that says, "A bad attitude is like a flat tire. You can't go nowhere until you change it." So I want to give you 4 ways that you're able to develop resiliency and have a winning attitude. Yes, sir. So one, exercise. Exercise is not only good for the body, but it's good for the mind as well. It releases a happy chemical called endorphins, and then it provides oxygen to the brain so you can think better. Two, a sense of humor. I don't know nobody that doesn't love to laugh. Just a quick fun fact about me. Late at night before I go to bed, me and my wife, we watch bloopers and pranks on YouTube. That's right, bloopers and pranks on YouTube before we go to bed. And it's all because we want to relieve ourselves of all the stress that we dealt with throughout the day. I know a doctor says laughter is the best medicine, and it truly is. And then three, words of affirmation. Words of affirmation. So I want to do a quick practical exercise with everybody in the room right now. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to think of a positive word starting with the first letter of your name and put it in the chat box. Think of a positive word starting with the first letter of your name and put it in the chat box. And for example, my name is Sylvester. My word is successful. I am successful. Put it in the chat box right now so we can see what we got. Let's go. What we got? What we got? Oh man, nobody want to share? Don't nobody want to share what their words of affirmation is? Their positive word?
Sorry, mine's won't come on the chat, but mine's is outstanding.
Boom, outstanding. I love it. Overland, thank you so much. Cassidy, courage. I love it. Naya, natural. Okay, beautiful. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you so much. I am more than enough for what I seek. Phenomenal. Thank you, Dave. Devin. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so now that we did that practical exercise, we're finna go into the last letter, which is X, which stands for, write this down, execute. And I'm not talking about the EX, I'm talking about I'm talking about the XEQ. I'm talking about the X. Why? Because we eliminate excuses. It's execution over excuses. You see, once we have our mindset on point and we have our attitudes on point, the only thing left to do is execute. This is where you go from saying I wish to I will. This is where you go from being ordinary to extraordinary. This is where you go from being average to savage. You see, your body doesn't control your mind. Your mind controls your body. You see, everything takes work. If you want to go to college, guess what you got to do? You got to put in the work. If you want to be a great athlete, guess what you got to do? You got to put in the work. If you want to be phenomenal honor roll student, guess what you got to do? You have to put in the work. The amount of effort you give is between you and you, nobody else. Effort is important, but you're the only person that know how far you really go. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great. And if you don't find yourself moving at a fast rate like a locomotive, like you expected to, just remember one thing: small steps equal great distances. Small steps equal great distances. This is where I tell everybody in the room right now, turn on your GPS. And I'm not talking about on your cell phone, and I'm not talking about in your car. I'm talking about having goals, purpose, and a strategy. Let me say that for you one more time. Goals, purpose, and a strategy. Write that down. You see, once we know our goals and we understand our purpose and we have a strategy in order to achieve them, there's no reason why we can't make it to our destination. There's no reason why you can't make it to our destination. Now, I want to be honest with you along this journey that we're talking about. I want to be honest with you. Now, it's not easy to max out, but it's simple. It takes what I call the 3D effect. The 3D effect is the ability to be three-dimensional by using dedication, determination, and discipline. You see, you have to get it out your mind. You have to get it out your brain. You got to stop telling yourself that you weren't meant to be here. You got to stop telling yourself that you're a failure. Some of y'all won't get it until you get it. You see, your thoughts drive your emotions. Your emotions drive your behavior, which affects your performance. Let me say that one more time and a little bit slower. Your thoughts drive your emotions. Your emotions drive your behavior, which affects your performance. That's chopped and screwed right there. Some of y'all might not know about that. But those are the things that you need to take into consideration whenever you're thinking about stuff. You see, I just gave you a piece of my life. I told you that I was doing drugs. I told you that I was running with a gang. I told you that I failed multiple times at school. Some of y'all won't get it until you get it. The same person that they said wasn't college material, the same person that they said was failing over and over again, the same person that had given up on itself is standing before you today. So I want to close with this and open the floor for questions. Don't let your start determine your finish. Even broken crayons can still color. This is how you make it to that next level. This is how you rise to the top. This is how you win the battle within. I want to thank you everyone for their time. I want to thank Seneca for allowing me this opportunity to help the next generation to become resilient leaders that triumph and succeed in life. Thank you for your time. Anybody have any questions? So nobody has any questions at this time. Hey, I thank you. I thank each and every one of you for allowing me this opportunity. I thank each and every one of you for investing your time, because time is the most precious thing that we have on this earth. You can never get it back. But if you're going to spend time with somebody, make sure you get something back in return. Invest it in quality people. Make sure you're doing that at all times and all capacities. So therefore, you can always be better than you were before. So we still have about 5 minutes left. Do anybody have any questions before we conclude? Awesome. Okay, so I got a question for you guys. We all know the pandemic been going on. We all know that we have tragedy after tragedy. It changed our way of life. It changed our way of living. But I want to ask you the question: what has helped you to maintain hope during a season of loss? What has helped you to maintain hope during the season of loss? If you could put that in the chat box or just take off your mic and just comment, what has Jesus? I love it. Jesus. We all know he's the power, the will, and the way. Thank you for that. Faith in God. Absolutely. Faith is a powerful thing. It's a strong belief that we need to have, especially in the Almighty.
Sylvester, I had a question.
What's your question? Go ahead.
Okay, so you said that you used to deal drugs and had a former life away from like motivating people and everything, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so my question is, for those who are transitioning from that lifestyle, what would you tell them to do with their mindset so that they can stay away from relapsing into those like I had not enough, I can't do this, people are judging me type of thing?
Absolutely. So people gonna judge you regardless of wherever you go. That's a great question, by the way. People gonna judge you regardless of where you go. People judge Jesus along his journey as far as helping others, but then at the same time, I know sometimes peer pressure can come into play. So you have to separate sometimes in order to elevate. And one thing that I did for myself, I'm speaking for myself, is just only fill my mind with positive things. You know, your mind is like a garden. And if you're watering it with negativity, you will continue to think negative. But if you're showering it with positivity, it will continue to grow flowers, trees, and all these things that can help you in life. So I continue to just find other things. Once I had an aha moment dealing with what I had going on in my life, and it sparked the nerve and it started to build that confidence in me, I was able to reevaluate everything that I had going on. I did a true self-evaluation of myself. I wrote it on paper, all the negative things that I had going on in my life, and I figured out a way in order to prevent myself from going down those paths. Either I said I was going to stop hanging out with this friend. Either I said I was going to hang out in the house. I wasn't going to go outside. And eventually those people started to veer off they started to separate themselves along this journey of me becoming who I am today. So I would tell anybody, separate in order to elevate, and make sure you're only putting positive things inside your mind. Like I said, 1% better. That's all it takes for you. 1% better. 15 minutes of your day. Like I said, and then I also developed a winning attitude. An attitude of gratitude was my main thing. Once I started realizing that I had a purpose, that I was created on purpose, for a purpose, with a purpose, that really helped me to elevate my level, because I feel like everybody was put on this earth to serve in some type of capacity, whether it's, entertainment, whether it's humor, whether it's just motivating others to be better and seeing who they can truly be. I think those are the things that we're put on this earth to do and serve. So once I start participating in these events, shelters, or dealing with just helping just the younger generation, just let them know that, hey, you can make it through, or you can get out of this wherever you are. That helped me to get to where I am today. So those are things that helped me. Thank you for that question, by the way. So if anybody don't have any more questions, I thank you for your time. If you want to get in contact with me, you can see me at all social media platforms. My website is sylvesterjenkins.com. sylvesterjenkins.com. And thank you for your time. And thank you, Seneca, again for this opportunity. You guys stay blessed. Thank you so much.